It was just another Friday night of door dashing after classes, until it wasn't. As I navigated the dark, deserted roads, I had no idea I was driving into a nightmare. It started like any other weekend. I picked up my phone, hoping to make some extra cash to cover my living expenses. Orders were slow, the kind of waste-of-time requests that barely paid for gas. Just when I thought the night was a bust, I got a notification. A high-paying order, 8 miles away. The location looked suspicious, but desperate times call for desperate measures. I accepted the order and set off. As I drove, the GPS estimated a 30-minute journey. I passed familiar neighborhoods until the houses disappeared, replaced by endless fields. A sense of dread settled in my stomach, but I brushed it off. I wasn't a coward. After 20 minutes of solitude, I spotted the house, an old, decrepit structure that seemed to loom out of nowhere. The eerie stillness wrapped around me like a thick fog as I parked my car. I grabbed the order bag and made my way to the front porch. Heart racing. I knocked, my knuckles echoing in the silence. No response. I peered through the grimy windows. They were dark and rotting. A chill crept down my spine. Something was off. Just as I turned to leave, I heard a thud behind me. A car crept down the dirt road, headlights slicing through the darkness. A figure stepped out. A man, just standing there staring. My instincts screamed at me to run. I dropped the bag and sprinted toward the back of the house, heart pounding in my ears. I could hear his footsteps thundering behind me. The grass whipped at my legs as I bolted into the open field, my breath coming in ragged gas. I glanced back. He was gaining on me. With adrenaline fueling my legs, I pushed harder until I reached the road. I stumbled and fell, but the terror of being caught propelled me back to my feet. I finally spotted headlights in the distance and dove for safety. The police picked me up moments later, but by then, the man had vanished. My car was untouched, the order still on the porch of that haunted house. I was left with the unnerving realization that he had something far worse in mind than robbery. This was just one night of horror, but the darkness had a way of following me, revealing its twisted face when I least expected it. Like that one road trip when I found myself at a lonely gas station. It was my first long drive alone, 600 miles to college. By the time I reached a desolate gas station, the sun had set and fatigue settled in. As I pumped gas, a man approached. He looked out of place, wearing a ragged smile that sent shivers down my spine. "Go back," he whispered, pointing toward the highway. Confused, I hesitated. The road ahead seemed safe enough. Ignoring him, I climbed into my car, but as I turned onto the highway, a chilling realization hit me. All the streetlights were off. Suddenly, a pickup truck appeared out of nowhere, blocking my path. 4 figures emerged, wielding weapons. Panic surged through me. I slammed the car into reverse just as they lunged forward, their eyes devoid of emotion. I sped away, heart racing, calling 911. But the line was dead. Had the old man known? Was he trying to save me? The darkness had an insidious way of drawing you in, revealing itself in the most unexpected moment. Every corner turned, every quiet road traveled, can hide horrors we can't fathom. Remember, not all shadows are harmless, and sometimes the scariest